worst things you can do for your career is accept a truly terrible job. Whether you're leaving a job that's a good job for a terrible one, or you're unemployed and you're taking a terrible job, it is one of those things that can absolutely wreck your resume in the long run and really burn you out in current day. So it's really important to avoid bad jobs. And in order to do that, you should have non-negotiables. I've been in recruitment for 15 years, and in today's video, I'm going to give you some of the non-negotiables you need to have when it comes to deciding whether or not you accept a new job. Let's go. Okay, so the first one is you don't earn and you don't learn. Now, there's a saying out there. Every time you accept a job, you either need to learn or you need to earn, or both. What does that mean? Earn means you're making more money. Like, this job is a step up from you. You're making more compensation than you did before, and inarguably, it is a better move for you financially. Now, not every job gives you that opportunity, but if you make a job, and let's just say it's a lateral move, like it's not super compelling from a financial perspective, but you are learning, you are adding to your skill set, you are becoming a more well-diversified professional, that is still good. And some jobs you have both. Some jobs it's a big step forward compensation-wise, but it's also going to be something that really helps your experience. Ideally, it does both of those things. But when is it kind of a red flag? When is it something you should avoid? Well, when you get neither. If you do not earn and you do not learn, that should be a deal breaker. You shouldn't accept that job. One of the things that you need to avoid is consistent bad Glassdoor reviews. Okay, Glassdoor is not perfect. And if you go on Glassdoor and you read one amazing review or one bad review, you shouldn't give it too much credence. But if you're interviewing with a company, you should absolutely look on Glassdoor and see what their employees, both past and current, are saying about that organization. And if you notice trends, specifically disturbing trends, trends that make you feel like this would not be a good place to work, then you need to avoid that. I think it's really important to gain an understanding of what it would be like working here and what do employees who work here feel about being employed there, and then making your decision with that data point in mind. So for me, that is absolutely one of my non-negotiables. Like, I have to feel like, okay, working here is going to be good. Some of that information you can get from your interview or from interacting with people. Some of it you might be able to get from their website, but you need to use an independent source like Glassdoor to get an idea of, like, is this a place that I want to consider working? I would never accept a job if at the end of the interview process, I didn't think to myself and think, I'm excited to go work for this manager. A bad manager can make an amazing company, like an amazing opportunity, a really bad opportunity. And working at a so-so company can actually be made pretty amazing if you have an amazing boss. So when you're considering, like, okay, is this a job I want? A non-negotiable for you should be that you feel compelled to follow that leader. This leader is someone who is going to teach you. It is someone who's going to help you in your journey. They're going to advance you. They're going to grow you. And for me, it's an absolute non-negotiable that I feel passionate about that. I feel good about it. You cannot accept a job if you think you're going to go work for a manager who's going to make the situation worse for you. One of the things I think people often avoid is they avoid doing a deep dive into company financials, right? It's really important to get an idea of, like, how this company is doing. The best way to do this is to go to Google, type in the company name, and then go down to the bar below that and find news and articles, right? And actually read about the company. And you'll find interesting things there. One time I was interviewing for a company and I went and I did this and I looked at the news and they had just closed like several factories. And I was like, okay, well, that gives me pause. And it's just really good to have that information. Like, making a decision without knowing that, you know, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it. I want to have an idea, like, how is this company doing financially? Another thing that's really important is considering, like, is this company, or is this industry rather, in a growth or decline? For example, early in my career, I had a client, and this client was in the cigarette industry. And it was really hard to get candidates to go work for that company. Why? Because the industry was in decline. Going and taking a job for a company that clearly is in an industry that is like dying is a dangerous decision. You know, maybe they're going to be insulated a bit from that and they're going to be one of the top performing companies and they won't feel as much of the pain of the way that's going for the industry, but it is a risk. you are much better off joining a company that's in a risk that isn't contracting, but rather is growing. So it's really important to consider that as part of your criteria, and it should be a non-negotiable when it comes to evaluating, is this the right opportunity for me? Another thing that you need to take into consideration is, did they give me a fair offer or did they lowball me? And this can be a big issue, especially in an employer market. And it's why I made this video here. And this video is basically, what do you do if a potential employer lowballs you? It's going to teach you what to look for and how to handle it. So I will see you over there.